If you can get them there to where they will actually pay and invest for you to go to said training, great, you've just won. The next is a little bit of a Hail Mary approach. How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you back to the Way of the Wolf. On the show today, I'm going to be talking about investing in yourself. Now, I received a request recently. It was somebody who has worked with the company for a pretty good while. I think 4 or 5 years, I think is what they expressed. And they were struggling because they wanted to invest in leadership coaching for themselves. They said, I can't get my boss to pay for this coaching. And I thought, you know, this is something that is very unfortunate. A lot of businesses, I think I saw a stat recently, 70% of employers acknowledge that there is a skills gap in their organization. Now, interestingly, I was at an event a couple of months ago and asked everybody in the audience to raise their hands if they spend 30% of any sort of budget they have on training their employees. Nobody raised their hand. Okay, what about 20%? Nobody. What about 10? What about 5? And then I started to see a few hands going up. Now that is a wide discrepancy whenever you think about it. 70% of employers believe that there is a skills gap, and only a small percentage of them invest anything at all in developing their employees. Frustrating beyond belief for both sides. Now, the guidance that I have shared with the few people that have come to me asking this question is, well, first, I talk them through how to have the conversation with their manager, how to document what is the ROI that they are going to see, how is it going to help benefit the team, the business, the organization, for you to develop these skills. That's going to be the first step. If you can get them there to where they will actually pay and invest for you to go to said training, great, you've just won. The next is a little bit of a Hail Mary approach where you volunteer to pay for it yourself. I know, crazy. Who on earth would actually want to invest in themselves and becoming a better version of themselves? When you volunteer to pay for it yourself, that puts them in a little bit of a tricky situation, because then they have to be the bad guy that's not willing to invest in their employees, and the employees are having to do it on their own. So you're kind of guilting them into just doing the right thing. I don't like to pull this card, but usually it does have a decently high success rate. I think I've guided, I want to say like 5 or 6 people over the years to this approach, and had about a 90% success rate. Now, there are steps that you have to take, so don't just walk into your office, into your boss's office and say, hey, I'm going to do this. There are steps that you want to take. I think the message here is, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, because it is an investment. It is not a cost that so many people seem to think it is. And I also get, what if it doesn't work? Well, that's why you need to do your research and make sure that whatever course you're looking at taking, whatever coach you end up working with, that they have a track record of achieving results. The barrier to entry is nothing, quite frankly. Frustrating beyond belief, but that is the reality of the world that we are in. So do your due diligence, do research. Have they written a book? Do they have a YouTube channel? Do they have other customers that can be referrals for you? Don't be afraid to find the right people and invest in yourself. All right, well, I've got cleaners coming, yard guys coming, so I got to wrap this up. Thank you all so much, and y'all have a good one.